What up, everyone? Big Kev back in the building. Today, we've got another one on rugby. This one's called The Rules of Rugby Union Explained. After that first rugby video, I decided I needed something that had a little more of a visual element to help me lock everything in. Hopefully this one will do the trick. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's check it out.
The object of the game is for your team to score more points than the opposing team. The game is played with two teams of 15, playing on a field that's 100 metres long between the goal lines. In rugby union, you may run forwards with the ball, and you may kick the ball forwards. But what's interesting about rugby union is that you can only pass the ball backwards or sideways. You cannot pass the ball forwards, and doing so will result in your opponent being awarded possession. The idea is to score points, and there are several ways to do this. Number 1, a try. You can run with the ball into your opponent's in-goal area and place the ball down onto the ground. This is a try and is worth 5 points. Unlike in American football, the player must press the ball on the ground with downward pressure. No downward pressure equals no try.
That's unusual. Okay. So you don't just gotta have to cross the line, you actually have to physically place the ball on the ground.
Number 2, a conversion. After scoring a try, you are awarded a conversion kick to add more points. The kick is made from a spot 20 metres from the goal line and perpendicular to the spot where the try was scored. Kicking the ball between the posts and over the crossbar scores 2 points.
Oh, that's unusual. It's also kicked at an angle. Usually, with American football, it's straight on with their extra points. That's cool.
Number 3, a penalty. If your opponent commits a foul, you may choose to kick the ball from the ground between the goalposts. This scores 3 points. Number 4,
what kind of penalties are you allowed to kick a penalty kick on? Is it any penalty, like even when you move the ball forward by passing? Can you choose to do a penalty kick then, or is it only certain types of penalties that allow for those penalty kicks?
Drop goal. You can also kick the ball between the posts at any time during open play. To do this, you must drop the ball onto the ground first before kicking it. This also scores 3 points. To stop you from scoring, your opponents will try and stop you by tackling. Your opponent can grab you below the shoulders and pull you to the floor or stop you moving forwards. In rugby union, once a player is tackled, the ball carrier must let go of the ball. This usually results in players pushing each other away on the ground whilst the teammate tries to get possession.
Oh, that's where a lot of the chaos comes into play. Once he lets go of that ball, then it's kind of like every player for himself.
Ball. Players from either team can get possession at this point. This is known as a ruck and is an important part of the game. To the untrained eye, it looks like a bunch of men rolling around on the floor, but in reality, they're trying to push the opponents away so that they can get the ball. The maul is the other important part of the game. This is essentially a ruck while standing up. Players will usually push opposing players backwards in order to
that dude trapped in the middle, that's a trippy place to be.
Gain better field position. Unlike in American football or rugby league, there are no set limits for possession. If a team can keep the ball for the entire game, they generally will. The game is played.
Does that actually happen? Are they able to keep it for I think with so many players on the field that there'd be lots of back and forth? Are teams able to really crazy dominate the time of possession in these games?
In 2 40-minute halves for a combined playing time of 80 minutes. Team with the highest score after 80 minutes wins. That's basically the gist of it, but there's a few other rules you'll need to understand before playing or going to a game. For example, knock-on. Any player deflecting the ball forwards with their arms or body is committing a knock-on. Remember, you're not allowed to pass the ball forwards, so you're not allowed to deflect it forwards either, unless it's a kick. Committing a knock-on will result in the other team being awarded a scrum. Scrum.
Okay, that one wasn't actually explained, I don't believe, in the other video, so that's interesting.
This is a method of restarting play, usually after a forward pass or a knock-on. The forwards of both teams line up and push against one another whilst the ball is rolled between them. In general, any team can win possession of the ball at this point. In touch. This is rugby terminology for out of the playing area. The outer lines of the field are touch lines, and any ball leaving the field of play is said to be in touch. Line out. This is another method of restarting play, usually when the ball has left the field in touch. Players from each team will line up 1 metre apart whilst the ball is being thrown between them. Players are allowed to lift teammates up to try and gain possession of the ball.
Oh, cool.
There are many other rules not discussed here, but as you watch or play rugby union, they will become very clear indeed. If you found this video at all helpful, please like, share and subscribe. It takes me ages to make one of these things, and good karma is very much appreciated. Be sure to follow me on Twitter also, but in the meantime, enjoy Rugby Union.
Yeah, it was definitely good seeing like some of those plays actually live instead of just being the last video was animated. A lot of it. It was good seeing all these examples being played out for sure. I definitely would have liked to see a little more, a few more examples of some of the other rules that he didn't get a chance to touch on. So if anyone has any good suggestions, be sure to let me know down in the comments below, or if there's any rugby videos that I should be checking out, let me know. I'm just surprised I've never really thought to look it up or watch it before. It's such an interesting sport. It doesn't seem to get the same amount of attention over here in America. I mean, it gets less attention than even soccer does, which doesn't get a lot until a little more recently. Anyway, until next time, have a good one.